Okay, folks. This I got some more disturbing stories here, and so what's going on here? I noticed a pattern of negativity that's happening here in the United States, and it's an attack that's going on black women and black girls here in this country, and so I'm going to cover these three stories here, and at the end I'm going to do something, you know, show you a little something else. But it's real serious issues we got going on here. So I'm gonna start with the first one. Tatiana Jefferson death caught headlines across the country. Aaron Dean was charged with murder and tried by Fort Worth police after the department said he violated policy when shooting and killing Tatiana Jefferson while responding to an open door call. At least 15 protests, one also here in Las Vegas, are planned nationwide, and that was for yesterday. They were planned for Monday, and to honor the life of Tatiana Jefferson, whose voice outrage over her death. The day was to be named the National Day of Outrage by organizers. The family of Tatiana Jefferson said the following day, following about the Day of Outrage. Our family is mourning over the tragic and untimely murder of Tatiana by Aaron Dean, former Fort Worth police officer. Although Dean has been arrested and charged, he is back on the streets, and we are uncertain justice will prevail. We demand full transparency and accountability. It is our sincere hope that Tatiana's story will not be forgotten, and our pursuit of dignity prevents the likelihood of similar events of police abuse. Please show up for the Day of Outrage wherever you are. Keep our loved one's name alive. Until Freedom founder Tamika Mallory will lead the National Day of Actions. A local Day of Outrage event is planned for Monday afternoon outside the Tarrant County District Attorney's office. That's over in Texas. And so I mean they basically had protests all over the country. Let's see, they had protests planned for Houston, Atlanta, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and all total about 15 cities across the nation. And if you don't remember who she was the lady that was inside her own home, and the cop shot and killed her through the back window of her house. And so, you know, he immediately resigned, and a few days later he was arrested for murder. And so right now, you know, that's what's going on with that one. So here's one here, coming out of Corvallis, Oregon. Genesis Hansen, a 21-year-old black student from the Oregon State University, was brutally arrested by two white officers for allegedly riding her bike on the wrong side of the road. She was also charged with resisting arrest after insisting on her right to refuse to provide identification. On October 13th, Hansen was reportedly stopped by Oregon State Police Trooper Katasis because she was riding her bike on the wrong side of the street. Things escalated quickly, and several witnesses took videos of what has become a violent arrest. Police finally released a 38-minute body camera footage a week after the incident. It showed Hansen being arrested on the ground after Katasis claimed she was not cooperating. Hansen can also be heard asking the trooper why he demanded to see her ID. At one point, another officer, Donald Sheldon, arrived and said, "Every question that I ask, we go on a circular argument. We're in the state. I don't answer questions. It's a minor stop to start with, but that's where we're at." After a few moments of discussion, Katasis told Hansen, "I need you to either give me your ID now, or you're going to be under arrest." Hansen replied, I don't answer questions." The officers then continued placing handcuffs around her wrists while they violently pinned her to the ground. The witnesses nearby tried to stop the officers. One woman can be heard saying, "She's a young woman. You don't need to be on top of her. She's not resisting. You are much bigger than she is. This type of force is not necessary." Hanson was eventually escorted to the police car. She was arrested for interfering with an officer and resisting arrest. She was transported to the Benton County Jail before she was released. The incident has since sparked outrage from advocates from the Alaska, Oregon, Washington State area conference of the NAACP, and the Corvallis Albany chapter want all charges against Hanson to be dropped and for the police to apologize, describing her arrest as another example of excessive use of force imposed on communities of color. Meanwhile, the Oregon State Police said in a statement, "As an agency that is committed to eliminating racial profiling and implicit bias in policing, these allegations are being meticulously reviewed, and we are compiling as much information as possible. The agency understands the importance of vigorously investigating these allegations as it's taken to a serious look into the incident." So the Oregon State Police is talking about they're looking into it. So hey, don't call us, we'll call you. That's what it sounds like. Here's another incident here, and this particular one happened in Farmington, New Mexico. Zach Christensen, a white police officer from New Mexico, can be seen on body camera footage assaulting an 11-year-old black girl and slamming her to the ground. The violent incident allegedly came after the girl threw milk in the cafeteria at her middle school. According to reports, on August 27th, the girl threw milk on the ground in the school cafeteria when she was told that she could only take one. The girl then walked away, but Christensen, a school resource officer, followed her. "You're done. You're not going to assault the principal. Put your arms behind your back," Christensen can be heard in the video repeatedly saying while the struggle ensued. In the video, he grabbed her and pushed her to the wall, then slammed her to the ground while the girl was crying and screaming, "Get off me. Oh, you're hurting me. You give me all these commands and you can't expect me to do every single one of them all at one time." Another school employee can be heard trying to stop Christensen and saying, "Officer Christensen, you need to allow her to stand up. Officer Christensen, she is not a threat to yourself or others at this moment." "She is," he replied. "We're at the point of arrest." "I understand that, sir, but we are not going to use excessive force to get this done," the other school employee said, to which Christensen replied, "We are not excessive." Christensen later resigned after an investigation into the incident found that he violated the department's policy for use of force. The supervisor who reviewed but did not flag the behavior as unacceptable was also reassigned. Meanwhile, the 11-year-old student suffered minor scrapes and bruises and was treated for a minor concussion. So here we go with another overzealous idiot manhandling an 11-year-old girl all because of a carton of milk, slamming her to the ground, throwing her up against the wall, slamming her to the ground. And even when people brought it to his attention that, "Hey man, you don't need to do all this," he still tried to go through the motions of manhandling this little child. It's a child. You're a grown man, and so women and girls are under attack. Black women and black girls are under attack here in this country, and the very main reason that you always have to remember and you have to think about is that black women are the life givers of black life. So they're the ones that give birth to black babies, and to continue. If we're going to continue as a race, we have to have black women around and black girls turn into black women that can also have babies. They're trying to attack and destroy the black race as it is. You have so many black men locked up in prison now. They're attacking the women, the life givers, and we as black men, you got to stand up. You got to stand up and start protecting these women and stop being the punks out there running around, trying to sell drugs and acting like fools, going to prison and going to jail when you're leaving your women out here on the streets defenseless. Wake up. Wake up and realize what exactly what's going on here. This is an outright attack on black life, period. Wake up. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. So, you know, and so speaking of stupid, here's a video. Well, I got a video here, but I'm not going to play the video. I'm going to play the I'm going to play the sound bite. And this is like a thing that happened last night at the World Series between Washington and the Houston Astros, and the DC Dunce finally decided, well, I think I'll go to a sporting event. He's been there 3 years. This is the first sporting event he went to. So this is the kind of reception that he got. And I hope you can hear it. Lock him up. Lock him up. So that's, he got booed, and the whole crowd was hollering and yelling, lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Well, needless to say, the DC Dunce, he won't be going to any more. He won't be going to any more sporting events. You know, his little fragile ego is busted right about now, and he's probably crying in his Cocoa Puffs. And you know, hey, fuck him. You know, hey, it's time for them to get on with this impeachment and get rid of him. You know, all right, protect your sisters. Get out there and vote. And you know, when the elections come up, and protect anybody out there that's trying to do anything to get rid of the DC Dunce, and vote anybody out that's trying to protect it. All right, peace.